All right, today we're going to dig into an idea that's honestly a total game changer for how we think about business. What if we've been looking at our employees all wrong? I mean, what if they're not a cost on a spreadsheet, but are actually the single most valuable asset a company has, and one that actually grows in value over time? So let's just start with this one fundamental question, because it really changes everything. Do you see an employee as an expense you need to minimize, or as an asset that you can invest in and watch it grow? Because depending on how you answer that, it completely flips the script on what HR is supposed to be doing, from just managing costs to actively creating value. And this right here, this is the key difference. Think about it. A new computer, a piece of machinery, even a brand new building. From the moment you buy them, they start losing value. They depreciate. They wear out. But people? Well, that's a whole different story. With the right investment, in their skills, their development, their well-being, their value actually goes up. And good luck trying to copy that. A competitor can buy the same software, but they can't copy your team's unique experience in chemistry.
So, what are we really talking about here when we say investment perspective? It means you stop seeing HR as just an administrative department that handles payroll and paperwork. Instead, it becomes a strategic part of the business, like R&D or marketing. It's about designing every single policy, from who you hire to how you train them, with one clear goal in mind. How do we increase the value of our human capital?
Okay, that sounds great in theory, right? But how does a company actually do this? How do they decide why they should invest and what that investment should even look like? Well, it's not just a random guess. It's a really deliberate strategy that's shaped by a few key things. Well, it turns out it's not just one thing. A company's choice to invest is really a mix of these 5 big factors you see here. And it's everything from the big picture stuff, like what the company truly believes in, all the way down to the really practical, nuts and bolts questions about risk and what skills they already have in-house. It's this blend of philosophy, identity, and market reality.
And what's so fascinating here is just how broad this range is. On one end, you've got these huge, almost philosophical goals. I mean, think about Sony's original mission to enhance Japan's national pride through technology. That's what pushed them to invest in the best engineers on the planet. And then, on the other end of the spectrum, you have a very practical business decision. Does it make more sense for us to build a certain skill internally or just outsource it to a partner like Infosys?
So all those factors we just talked about, they basically lead to 2 big connected moves. First, you have to invest in your people. You pour resources into training and development to build up their skills. But, and this is a huge but, all that money and time is completely wasted if they just turn around and walk out the door. Which brings us to the second, absolutely crucial step. You have to build a powerful retention strategy to protect that investment. The 2 go hand in hand.
But hey, let's get real for a second. This isn't some magic bullet. Just like any other investment, putting resources into people involves risk. It's absolutely a calculated gamble. It's high stakes, for sure, but as we'll see, it's also incredibly high reward. You can think about it just like you'd think about your own financial investments. You could put your money in a bank deposit. It's super safe, right? Low risk, but the return is tiny. Or you could go for a mutual fund, a bit more risk, but the potential for a much better return. Well, investing in your people is way over on the far end of that spectrum. It's high risk, no doubt, but the potential return, it's the highest of all. A true, sustainable, competitive advantage that no one can easily copy. And yeah, the risks, they're totally real. The biggest one, of course, is attrition. You spend a fortune training someone, making them an expert, and then you have to watch them take all that amazing knowledge to your biggest competitor. Ouch. Then there are market shifts. A skill that's critical today could be completely useless tomorrow. And unlike buying a new machine, you don't see a return on your investment right away. It takes time, and honestly, it's never 100% guaranteed. This brings us to maybe the most powerful point of this whole discussion. There's this classic question you hear from nervous executives. What if we spend all this money training our people and then they leave? But the much, much scarier question is this. What if we don't train them and they stay? Because honestly, the risk of having a workforce that's unskilled, unmotivated, and just plain stagnant is so much greater than the risk of losing one well-trained employee. It's not even close. The really smart companies? They totally get this. We're talking about the giants. Microsoft, Google, Unilever. They see this as a fundamental cost of doing business. On average, they consistently invest about 1% of their total annual revenue back into their people. I mean, for a company like Google, that's more than $3 billion a year. Just think about that. Billions, all spent on making their people better. All right, so now let's tie this all together.
How does investing in one person's training actually lead to, a higher stock price for the whole company? It might seem like a stretch, but there's actually a very clear path, a sort of chain reaction that we can trace from start to finish.
It really is a domino effect. It all starts with that initial investment, those HR activities like training programs and better compensation. That investment directly leads to better employee outcomes. You get people who are more skilled, more motivated, and who actually want to stick around. And what do those people do? They drive better organizational outcomes, things like higher productivity, more innovation, better products. And finally, all of that hard work shows up in the market outcomes that Wall Street and customers see: a bigger market share, a healthier stock price, and a much stronger brand.
And the coolest part? This isn't just a bunch of fuzzy ideas. You can actually measure every single step of this process. You can track your initial HR activities with metrics like how many training days you're providing. You can measure the employee outcomes through things like retention rates and engagement scores. Then you see the business impact in productivity numbers and customer satisfaction. And finally, you see the payoff in your market cap and profit margins. It's a clear, data-driven line from investment to return.
This quote really just nails it, doesn't it? It says that the entire business value chain, the whole shebang from getting raw materials to selling the final product, is completely powered by what happens in that HR value chain. It's the positive skills, attitudes, and teamwork of your employees that fuel the entire engine of the business.
So, here's the big takeaway. The one thing to remember from all of this: investing in your people isn't some soft HR thing. It's not just about being a nice place to work. No, it's a hard-nosed, strategic business decision. It creates real, tangible value, and it's probably the most durable and reliable competitive advantage any company can possibly build.
And that really leaves us with one last question, and it's one you should take back with you. Think about your own company, your own workplace. Is it treating its people like a line item expense that needs to be controlled? Or is it treating them like its most valuable asset, one that's designed to appreciate? The answer to that question might just predict its entire future.